This is the gentleman, Mr. Rooney.
Mr. Speaker, I yield myself such time as I may consume.
Gentleman is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, crimes against the elderly are a serious growing problem in America. Senior citizens are often the victims of abuse and neglect. Experts estimate that as many as 2 million older Americans are the victims of physical and psychological abuse every year. They are also the victims of financial crimes, including telemarketing fraud and identity theft. The FBI reports that older Americans are prime targets for financial fraud because they are more likely to have a nest egg, own their home, and have excellent credit. Seniors are more vulnerable to fraud schemes because they are less likely to report fraud or are ashamed of having been scammed or do not realize that they have been scammed. These types of fraud are both creative and difficult to detect. Criminals will offer just about anything in an effort to defraud elderly victims, from counterfeit drugs to health insurance and anti-aging products and even funeral services. Additionally, email scams have become more and more common. In my home state of Florida, Attorney General Bill McCollum's office reports that in 2009 it received over 13,000 consumer fraud complaints from residents over age 60. The amount of complaints doubled since the previous year and has increased sixfold since 2006. Congress must address the rising incidence of fraud and scams that endanger our nation's seniors. I'm pleased to support H.R. 3040, the Senior Financial Empowerment Act, which is co-sponsored by my colleagues, Congresswoman Baldwin, Chairman Conyers, Ranking Member Smith, Chairman Scott, and Ranking Member Gohmert. This legislation aims to do just what the title promises: empower older Americans to protect themselves from seemingly harmless but devastating financial fraud schemes. The bill directs the Federal Trade Commission to provide tips to seniors on how to best safeguard themselves against fraud and educate victims on how to report fraud to law enforcement authorities. Just learning simple steps like shredding our billing statements can help anyone prevent identity theft. Today, seniors need to be empowered to protect themselves from the internet, email, and telephone schemes. H.R. 3040 will help them achieve this goal. I urge my colleagues to support this legislation, and I reserve the balance of my time.
Gentleman reserves